Anyway, film 10 out of 10.
What are we saying, boys? 10 out of 10 movie, bro. I'm telling you straight up, man.
I'm gonna go home. Mom's gonna be like,
My ass is sweating, boy.
I know, man.
Bro, how done right now? You're not gonna eat the rest of that?
No, bro.
The one thing that makes it a 10 out of 10 is Miguel, bro.
Yeah,
Miguel, he just...
Alright,
Oscar
boys.
Isaac is
We
just
got out watching Spider-Man into Spider-Verse Part 2, innit? What's your thoughts?
10 out of 10, bro.
What are you giving it?
That's banging.
Oh no, that was mint. 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Nah, it's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. What's the best part for you?
Oh no, when Childish Gambino showed up, bro.
What was the line he said again?
No, I don't even know. It's just the fact that he was there, and it makes sense because he's like what's his name? Miles' uncle and shit.
Alright, send a bit, yeah?
So he's Miles' uncle, innit?
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes sense for him to be there.
I think my favourite part, Spectacular Spider-Man. OG, man. You gotta say, like...
No, the best part is when he soloed the entire Spider-Verse.
Yeah, no.
That is the best part.
Cheers, guys, and we're going to back on the video today, guys. We're going to be giving a movie review on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I saw the film yesterday. I saw it late night, Thursday, 1st of June, first showing. I got back at like 11:30. I had no time for like a movie review or anything. When I came out of that theatre, I was mind blown. My mind was blown. Like, coming into this film, I had my hopes, set high. But, the first Into the Spider-Verse, I know it was so good. Honestly, surprised me as hell. I love that film. And I was like, oh, this is going to be sick as well. So the free trailers I saw, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. It looks really nice. With all the films coming out this year, this one, I can't lie, was under the radar for me. I can't lie. Like Flash, Mario, Transformers, those three for me are really, really highly anticipated. So Spider-Verse was kind of, like 5th place in there. But I gotta say, man, this is the best film I've seen all year. Straight up, I can't even lie to it. It's better than Mario and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And those two are 10 out of 10 films, and I love both of those films. This one has just topped it, man. Honestly, I don't know how, but it just has. Let me just go into it. I just loved the amount of time we get to spend with Miles and Spider-Gwen and the family. This film's a lot longer. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes or something like that. The film starts off, I'm pretty sure the first 25 minutes is just a Spider-Gwen film. I'm like, damn, I was like, I didn't expect this to happen. I like how the first shot is Spider-Gwen and the last shot of the film is Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I think I do have a little bit of a criticism. First 2 minutes didn't really work for me. It looked like a trailer. I know I was trying to do flashbacks and all that. I didn't like that. So we get to see Vulture, right? This old Vulture. That didn't really work for me either. I didn't really like that Vulture. But I feel like, because he just looked too old, and I didn't really like how he was drawn and all that. It does make sense, I know, but I couldn't rock with it, man. I feel like it clashed with the art style. I feel like they could have done him a little bit better because he was too rough around the edges for me. I did, however, like Vulture's powers and everything. How he had these other powers, like these bombs and stuff, and grappling hooks and type shit. How he was from that time period, had all these mechanisms with him. I do rate that because it actually made Vulture look like a badass villain. He was taking on 4 different Spider-Men. And he's whooping all their ass. So I actually rate him for that. But anyway, they take down him. Spider-Man 29 from the beginning. Badass. He was so good. I loved him. I love Spider-Man 99. His soundtrack was so badass. His music, it reminded me of Spider-Man Unlimited music. Like the... Honestly, Spider-Man Unlimited. He didn't get to say anything, but we did see him a good couple of times during this film. How the father's... He thinks he killed Peter Parker, and when he finds out it's Spider-Gwen, it's like the relationship is raw mad, And how it links to the end when she sees him again. It's just mad. So then, finally, Spot, we get introduced to him. I really like how they did Spot, because I think, I legit watched a video earlier, how in the 90s, Spot was the worst episode in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Episode was right shit. I hated it. But in this adaptation, they made him a badass. I actually liked him. He was still a nerd, obviously the mad scientist, so they kept him true to his character arc and everything. I liked how they tied him in though. First one, bagel, bang on his head, and they tied that into this one. How he's like Doc Ock's secretary, whatever, and worked really close with her, and all he needs is the collider to get more powers and everything, which is crazy. So he's going to different dimensions shit once he learns his Spot things. I was like, yo, this is cool as shit. And it was quite funny at the start, how shit he was at using his powers, and he was just getting his ass kicked, and they're both, how they were fighting was so funny. I actually really liked it. I also liked the father and son dynamic between Miles and his dad, how they're teaming up to try and fight Spot. I was wicked, man. A really, really funny scene is when Miles' dad takes the stairs, man. That shit is hilarious, bro. Miles' grades and that's funny. At the party, Miles makes his birthday cake. It doesn't go well. I really like this time spent with Miles and his parents. At the first film, we didn't get much of that. We really didn't get much of it. We got more of the dad, but the mum, we actually got a lot more of the mum and Miles in this one. I just like just sitting there and letting the story fold. At the party scene, the dad's doing a sick ass speech, and Miles ain't there, man. And that's tough, man. He's like, yo, I do this for my kid. He's like been promoted to captain and all that, and that captainship plays afterwards in the film, which is insane. You can feel it, man. You can feel the tension. And then Miles is getting pissed off in it when he's grounded and all that. Spider-Gwen, we see her pop through portal, boom, and then they hang around for a bit, and then we find out that she didn't really give a shit about Miles. Well, she does kind of give a shit about Miles, but she's really there to track down Spot and take him down. That guy's making a massive mistake about everything. And, he screws up. My boy Miles is so clean with it. Man goes invisible and hears everything that Gwen says in the thing when she's talking about Miles and motorcycle Spider-Man. And then he makes a decision. Yo, I'm going to jump through. All right, so Miles goes in, and then we get to, they're in some Mumbai type city, some like Indian type Spider-Man. That scene is funny as hell, though. He's got weird powers, though. He's got like this sling ring thing for his web shooters. Now our segment was cool. Then we get introduced by the Hobie character that we've been hearing about Spider-Gwen say before, and turns out to be Spider-Punk, and he's actually really cool. My best mate next to me, Lucas, he freaking loved his character. He was his favourite character. He was just cool with it, you know what I mean? Part of the man dem and that, you get me? Nah, he's a proper road man, but I do rate Spider-Punk. And he helped Miles and shit afterwards as well. So he was a legend in this film. And then we find out Miles is like messes up and saves the Indian Spider-Man's dad, which is, he was supposed to do that. And then the fighting Spot gets away. Well, he's kind of kicking all four of their ass, to be honest. He's doing a pretty good job. He's kind of leveled up in his power level. That scene. And Miles is trying to help. He's doing a pretty decent job. And they save Captain Singh or something. One of the captains, in it. They save him. Indian Spider-Man gets to save his girlfriend as well. So, happy days for him. He doesn't actually need to lose anyone. And then later on in the story, we found out Miles shouldn't have been there because he was supposed to die in that scene. We get to the Spider-Man world. We get to see all the Spider-Man, but this is where we see all the cameos and everyone's in it. It was very hard to get all of them because there's just so many, but I definitely saw a lot of them. Finally, eventually see Miguel and Spider-Man face to face, and Miguel's pissed off the whole film, man. That guy's angry. And we know why, because we find out that he was the one who got the wrong spider from the Earth 42 universe, and his Spider-Man died because he got bit by a spider again. Because there can't be two Spider-Man in one universe. So there's a really badass part where we see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and we see Tobey Maguire, Uncle Ben, both of them dying. I think for Andrew Garfield, it's Gwen Stacy's dad, isn't it? We also see Spectacular Spider-Man in that scene, in the same frame as Tobey Maguire. We see Spectacular Spider-Man's Uncle Ben. Bro, the best part for me in this film was Spectacular Spider-Man, because he's the #1 best Spider-Man. The entire time I've been alive, Spectacular Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man that has ever been made, because that is the best thing. So I've seen him, and he got to say a line as well. He got like 2 seconds of like center frame. Josh Keaton did the voice as well. They got to give him a season 3, man. That's all I'm saying. We also see some mad-ass cameos. We get to see like the villain lair, and in that we saw Prowler, live action, the same dude from Spider-Man Homecoming. And also at the beginning of the film, when Spot was doing the multiversal thing, testing out his powers, we got to see Mrs. Chen from the Venom universe, which is pretty sick. Didn't expect that, but that was the first live action cameo that we got in it. It was pretty cool, connecting all the universes together and stuff. That was pretty funny as well. I got this cameo. I'm actually sick because I've seen like nearly in all the animated series Spider-Man shows. So I saw from Spider-Man 81, Spider-Man and his amazing friends, they fight this guy called Video Game Man, and they had a Video Game Man cameo. They had the video game dude locked up in a jail cell next to the original Video Game Man, that cameo was sick. So I was surprised I got that because that was pretty cool. And they also had like the OG Dr. Octopus, OG Green Goblin, the OG designs. They showed like pop-up boards of like the OG classic videos. Rhino, there's a ton of rhinos in there. There's just a random ass real rhino in there. But I don't think we saw any Venom though. Like we didn't see like proper Venom. We did see a couple pictures of like symbiotes. I love that scene though. I got a lot of references, but I gotta see it again and just pause it, catch them all. But moving on though. So Miguel, he has to chase down Miles now. He's running for his dear life. We also see Peter B. Parker. It's good to see him with his baby and all that. The relationship with Mary Jane. Miguel's like fighting him, and there's a deleted fight scene. In the very first trailer that we got last year, December, we see like Miles and Spider-Man 2099 fight, and it's a mad fight. That whole minute fight sequence is not even in the film. But when like all the Spider-Men are trying to hunt him down, that scene is so good. It's actually mad that Miles was actually being able to escape from so many of them as well. I actually get that cool meme. What? Which Spider-Man? Who? And he's hiding behind one of the Doc Ock Spider-Mans. That was funny as hell, man. But that's insane, though. The amount of Spider-Man that was there. And somehow Miles is just like the beast and got away from all of them. Yeah, that was badass, man. And then obviously we get a little scene with like Peter B. Parker's trying to help Miles out, but Miles is like, damn, nah, he's not going to let his dad die. So you understand why Miles is going to help his dad, bro. That's his dad. If you knew your dad was going to die 2 days earlier, bro, you're going to save him. I'm telling you now. So they were trying to keep him there. But I thought, yo, Uncle Aaron died. So why does his dad have to die too? You know what I mean? Just have one death. Uncle Aaron, man. His dad's chilling. That's crazy that his dad has to die as well. Like, why has he got to lose 2 people? That's crazy. That's hard for Miles as well, man. He didn't deserve that shit. The thing is, the difference is, with Peter Parker, he didn't know his uncle was going to die. You know what I mean? He didn't know. And it just happens. If Peter Parker knew 2 days advance, if he could have saved his uncle, he would have done that. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a madness in the whole thing. That Miles knows his dad's going to die so he can save him. Like, what? That's mad. Then we get the maddest twist in the world where the whole story goes super, super dark. Miles tries to get back to his place. Travels back, right? Boom, gets into the wrong ass universe. And that whole scene, bro, my mind was yeeted across the universe myself because my mind was gone, bro. I generally, the writing, bro, because I thought Spider-Gwen was listening to the mad conversation Miles was having with his mum. Because Miles was actually going to tell his mum, and I thought at that moment, I was like, yo, that is pretty sick. Then when the mum said, yo, hold on a second, what, who's Spider-Man, who's that? In my head, yeah, I'll tell you what was going on in my head. I was like, what the hell's going on with her mum? This is what I thought. I was like, chameleon, out of nowhere. I was like, oh, bro, that's chameleon right there. Why is he playing a bit weird? I thought the mum was trying to be a little evil. That ain't even Miles' mum. And it was getting all dark and serious, and I was thinking, like, they've set him up with something here, like Miguel's done something. Turns out he's in the wrong damn universe. Miles' universe is like 1178 or something like that. That's where Spider-Gwen was, that's where Miguel was, that's where Scarlet Spider was. Hey, Ben Reilly was a guy. Ben Reilly's sick in that film. I do like the amount of screen time he got. He got some really cool ass shots of Ben Reilly, man. And then Spider-Gwen kind of kicked his ass, didn't he? And then, a mad twist, Uncle Aaron pops out. Yo, Prowler, he's got a new look and he daps him up, and I'm like, damn, it must be hard for Miles. I'm like, yo, that's a Prowler right there. Little did we know, man gets knocked down by himself. The Miles from that universe is Prowler. And I'm there like, yo, the story writers, bro, give it up to the writers, because they have just written like this maddest piece of story ever. What they did do right, they wrapped up the bit with Spider-Gwen and her dad. I think they settled it, and now her dad's kind of like proud of her daughter type thing. They got that sorted. That was one storyline that kind of saw like a resolution to that. But I'm telling you, with this one, it's so mad because it ends at the part where Miles meets his self and he's not going to let him save his dad. And that's like the maddest thing. And Miguel and, you know, the motorbike girl, they're all watching the freaking mum and dad. And the fact that Spider-Gwen got to meet Miles' mum and dad for like probably the last time, and say to him that they love him and shit. They don't know that their son's in a different unit. They don't know that, man. I just want Miles' dad to meet Miles, man. I just want that to happen. Alright, to wrap everything up, I'm just saying this film is amazing. You guys got to see it. Everything that happens in this film is honestly unbelievable. My mind was gone. I think I was in a different multiverse because I couldn't actually, like, my brain couldn't control everything that was going on during the film. There was so much going on. There was just generally so much that was going on. My favourite character in the film, I gotta say, I don't know, probably Miles, you know. I really like Miles. If the side characters, obviously Spectacular Spider-Man, even if he got like 5 seconds of screen time. I love at the end how Spider-Gwen gets all the gang back together. We get to see Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham. What's the name again? The anime Spider-Girl. And then obviously the new one, Spider-Punk, Peter B. Parker. And then, yeah, she's like leading the team to save Miles. Well, that's crazy, man. And that's how it ends. It ends on that. And honestly, we got to see that second part. We don't have to wait too long. It's like 8 months or something, March 2024. But the second part, it's going to be a long wait. But this movie is worth it. It's generally the best film I've seen all year. It generally is. We'll see what happens with my 2023 ranking, because I've just seen it right now, and right now I think it is the best film. And we'll see how my feelings towards this film goes on as the year goes on. But anyway, this is the end of this video, guys. 10 out of 10 film. Like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace. Bye.